So we know that Mikel Arteta is the new Arsenal boss, Ali, but what is the glass ceiling for what Arsenal can achieve under him? And what do you think privately he's thinking to himself, right, this is my aim, this is my target for Arsenal?
Privately, he is thinking, I had to take this job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great opportunity. It's a historically great club. But this is a nightmare. And this is a nightmare because what I want this team to be doesn't match the player personnel that I have available. So I can't quite ask this team to do the things that I want them to do out on the field, because that would expose us in many different areas. And so I have to start from the very beginning and understand the evaluation process of saying, okay, this guy's got to go. Can this guy go? Can we get rid of this contract? All those things that perhaps have nothing to do with on-field, but off the field, that are administrative issues, I think he has to tackle as well and make sure that what are the players that I want to keep? Who is the core group of this team? Do we have a core group? And then once I'm done with that evaluation process, then I say to myself, what can I do with this? And if I have players that are not going to be part of the long-term solution for Arsenal, then those guys I will put to the side and say thanks, but no thanks. I appreciate your efforts, but not so much. I'm going to go forth with the guys that I think are going to be part of this picture for years to come. And then we're going to start adding pieces. While I'm doing that, I also have to provide results as a manager. And the level of expectation for Arsenal, sometimes unrealistically so, you have to then provide results. If I'm Mikel Arteta, I don't worry so much about our playing style or possessing the ball, entertaining. I need to get results right away and build some confidence within the group so that then I can start talking about the very specific things that I want the team to do. That's why this is a nightmare, because it's not one thing that you have to address. It's a bunch of stuff. You didn't get to this point because one thing went wrong. A bunch of things went wrong, and now you have to address all those things one at a time, tackle each of them as individual problems, and then hopefully once you resolve one, you're able to resolve another, and from then on you try to generate some momentum going forward.
This is a club with a fan base that believes they should be playing in the Champions League. It's a long way off. Is it a short-term goal, a medium-term goal, or a long-term goal for Arteta to get back in the Champions League through a league qualification? It's
an unrealistic goal for this year. That's not going to happen, so that has shifted. That has gone out the door, unless you think to yourself, Europa League.
Yeah, that's why I said through the league, because that is a possibility for them.
So maybe that's where you try to challenge. But in order to become truly competitive, whether that's in that competition or in the Premier League, again, you have to resolve a myriad of issues in front of you. I do think that you may have Champions League as a goal sometime in the future, but it's not the immediate concern. The immediate concern is, okay, how do we get through this period of a bunch of games in a row where I want to see results while I'm evaluating players? That's tricky to do, and Mikel Arteta, well, as I said in the very beginning, he had to sign on to this because it's an opportunity that you cannot pass up. But it's a difficult one. And the reason that it became available to him is because other managers around the world as well may have said, that's not for me. Because this is not a short-term project. It's a rebuild, and rebuilds are very difficult.
Just finally, I'll give you 4 positions. You tell me which is the priority, 1 through 4. Goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, attackers at Arsenal. Where's the priority?
You have a tie for the very top spot between the back line and the midfield. Then you concern yourself. The other ones, the attacking players, forwards, goal scorers, I think you have something to work with there. And the goalkeeper hasn't really been the reason as to why you're struggling. He's made a few saves here and there. Bernd Leno has been consistent enough to where actually, as compared to some of the other guys, he stood out because, well, he hasn't been dramatically...
He's all right, yeah.
Yes. He hasn't made that mistake that you just go, my goodness, what is going on? Why do we have this guy here? You can ask that question about many of the other players out on the field, so I don't think he would be a priority, but I do think that back line and midfield are the things that you have to address right away.
Might be the right guy, maybe at the wrong time?
Well, if you're the right guy, you're the right guy. And so it's time for him to then step into a position where it's not easy. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of patience. And Arsenal fans better understand that the reality may be different to what their perception is.
There's the key word that Ali mentioned. Patience is required for this one.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.